Caitlin Clark All-Star reunion turns tense in ex-teammates' forward Indiana admission. As the All-Star events rolled in, Indiana flexed it knew how to celebrate basketball better than anyone else. Player posters draped the corners of the city, dozens of events livened up the streets, and makeshift courts had people hooping endlessly. How could one miss? So even as Caitlin Clark, the biggest attraction of the weekend, pulled out due to injury, there was no turning back for attendees. And for her Iowa teammates, it was no different, though they would have to end up tasting a little downside. Kate Martin, Gabbie Marshall, and Jada Gyamfi, Caitlin's Iowa trio, now all too familiar, showed up like clockwork for the festivities. They did not seem to have missed a beat. Whether it was the All-Star party, the skills challenge a day after, or proudly cheering as Clark received her ovation on the game day, the reunion was tight. But if you ask Marshall, the after effects were a bit too much. Sharing a screenshot of her Whoop app on Instagram, she made a quip saying, "Indy did me dirty." The stats that followed would explain why. As per the image, the former Hawkeye was running on a sleep score of 33%. And a recovery score of just 6%. Further, her HRV read to be 65% lower than usual thanks to stress, dehydration, or other lifestyle factors. So when Angel Reese hinted that Miami felt more like the state of mind, Marshall would have screamed, "Hard relate." But it is very likely she wouldn't change any of it, because in a post summing up her entire trip that followed, Marshall had just one remark. "Indy, you did not disappoint." She wouldn't be the only one. The players did not hold back this All-Star weekend, and the stud buds ensured we knew of that. Right from the party where we saw Cathy Engelbert dancing to Crime Mob's Knuck If You Buck to the Zero Defense game on Saturday, the athletes would account it as a wild summer break. Moreover, the city, the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, offered the players what every athlete dreams of. In Kelsey Plum's words, "It was an incredible weekend. This is my fourth time, and I thought by far it was the most packed, not just from the game standpoint, but three-point contest, skills contest, the orange carpet was alive. Every event that I saw that a player was doing was absolutely packed." So the players danced, took a sip, let loose on the hardwood, and had the time of the season. But they ensured not to get lost in all the fun. The WNBA All-Star weekends have always been about celebrating the best talent around the league. However, this time around, it was much more than the celebrations and the excitement. As the players walked out for their warm-ups, there was a strong message sent to the league. Pay us what you owe us. The CBA issue began when the WNBA players opted out of the current CBA deal last year. While both parties, the league and the players, have been in negotiations for a long time, no deal seems near. There was, however, hope for productive talks during the 2025 WNBA All-Star, but clearly that did not transpire. Breanna Stewart described the nature of talks as a wasted opportunity. With numerous rounds of failed negotiations, the pressure is immense on Cathy Engelbert to find a solution and find a solution quickly. The last thing this booming league needs right now is a stoppage.